So yeah, another small update on the Cayman. I'll rattle through these so I don't labour the process too much. When I got the car, it came with the Zoom Sport grille at the front. Don't know why, but the bloke didn't buy them for the back. So I have put them on the back as well. Not only does it give a bit more of a cohesive look to the car, but it also means any debris, especially in the UK this time of year, leaves going in there. There's fans behind there, it's called the engine. They are known for getting dry leaves stuck in them, and then it clicks, and people don't know what the issue is. So now you can't really see it with this camera, but you've got a consistent look from Zoom Sports there to the Zoom Sports there, and obviously full protection as much as possible from debris for the radiators and the fans and stuff like that. Right, the issue I've been trying to resolve for a long time. So as I mentioned before, I had a buzzing coming from back here somewhere, like a really a very loud buzzing at certain RPMs. So when the engine got to a certain resonance, I took these off and put rubber bands underneath. That didn't really help. It helped a bit, but not a huge amount. So as I said in the previous video, I stripped all this away, checked all the bolts holding on the metal tray above the engine, took all this trim out up here, checked everything, and realized that these little guiding pins, well, they're the guiding pins, and these sit over them like that, and they actually sit inside the hole. Whoop, you seen that thing where you look at that and then someone has to punch you? They sit inside the hole, no sexual comments, and then they stop it from rattling around. Now, I had about 10 of these missing across my trim, and that is what caused the issue. So I've since bought new ones, put them on, and now I don't have that issue. No buzzing, no vibrating at all, and I'm absolutely convinced that was done when the car was serviced by an independent. They would have had to take all that trim off. They probably lost them on the floor. Didn't have them to replace, or didn't bother, because that's when it started to happen. So if you get that kind of noise coming from the back, I need to drive it more, then have a look at that. I think they're about 50p each or something, and I can't believe how much that wound me up. So it fixed, and I'm bloody glad for it, because it was a horrendous sound. Right, this never came up on all my research, and I'll put some pictures in of the messages that you get. But all my research for common faults with these cars, one issue that never came up was that the hard drive, which sits above the PCM module in here, it's a completely module unit, just a hard drive. Because it's an old school hard drive, it wears out and it breaks. And what you get is this dial up here when you go to the maps, and I'll put the image up, and this one here when you go to maps or the navigation, it says Navi won't load or maps won't load, depending on what you're trying to do. And then it gets maps won't load up there, or maps loading or something like that. Like I say, I'll put up the image. And every 4 minutes, the whole system reboots because it's trying to connect with the hard drive with all the maps on. So it's not like you can go, all right, I won't use maps, that's fine. It literally reboots every 4 minutes. It does a click sound, it turns off, turns everything back on again, and you just got that the whole time you're in the car. So you've only got a couple of options really. You either replace the whole unit for an aftermarket unit, which I was looking at doing, which will cost you between £200 and £500, depending on the quality of unit that you want, if you want Apple CarPlay and stuff like that. Or you can actually remove this. So you take off this trim here, there's a couple of screws, it moves out, there's like 4 screws on top, you pull it off, and then you can buy a cloning unit, and you buy a solid state hard drive, you plonk your hard drive on one side, the solid state in the other side, and it should clone across. Luckily, there's a guy in a WhatsApp group who had already cloned one of his, so he, for free, which was amazing. This is why the car community is so great. Sorry about my finger there. I went to his house, he pulled it out, he exchanged it for me for a solid state hard drive, and now not only has that future fixed, it's fixed the car in case, future proofed the car against that happening again, but because it's a solid state drive, the maps are a lot quicker to load and to use. So that was brilliant. But the other problem you have is if you go down that route and your hard drive is completely either corrupt or kaput, it won't work. It will fail to copy the hard drive across. So thankfully that chap had one and he gave it to me for free, and now I can use the car again properly. But I hadn't heard of that being an issue, but you Google it, these PCM systems for this age, across all the Porsche models, it's a very common problem. So just be aware of that when you're buying your car, because if that pops and your hard drive is broken and then you buy all the stuff to clone the drive and it doesn't work, you're then into a brand new unit from somewhere. So really disappointing that that didn't come across when I was researching the car, but it's sorted now, it's fixed, and I'm very pleased to have it fixed. I think that's it. Other than that, it's, you know, we're starting to get to the good time of year again in the UK. Almost, we're probably about a month, 6 weeks away. So I'll try and do another driving video just to see how I'm getting on with it, just to give a bit of an update. I have had a bit of a revelation. I think I kind of hinted at it in terms of driving the car in Sports Plus mode, using the paddles, and how that just gives you so much more speed out of corners and such. But I'll try and do another driving video. And yeah, that's it for the moment. It's still an absolutely belting car. It is getting cleaned today, by the way. It might not look dirty on camera, but it is getting cleaned. And that's it, I think. It's just still trying to enjoy it as much as I possibly can, really. I'm probably going to keep it for another couple of years. Towards the end of this year, I might start looking at other cars and bring you along that journey as well, just to give you an idea about what I'm looking at. But 2 years in, it still feels like a very, very special thing. So yeah, as always, if you have any questions, just let me know.